Do you still do the Big Ghost podcast?
Yeah. I
So
do it more professionally now. Excuse me. I don't know if it's the goddamn.
you good? I told you that shit is sneaker, ain't it? Tastes like straight Kool-Aid. So okay, you do it now. Is it straight audio or do you put it out video as
No, I
well?
put out video. I
It's
put out video clips.
still on the YouTube?
Yeah.
But it was a gap, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I
From
took a
then.
break from it because what we was talking about before we started,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I ran into a wall with just balancing time and trying to figure out how important it is to me because I'm an artist. I tour. I
Yeah.
move around a lot,
Right.
and my podcast was turned into interviews. I was struggling with podcasting questions like, "Yo, what's your death row meal?" You know what I'm saying? That's some shit I'll see on the gram when I'm scrolling the gram. I'm just getting niggas' life stories, so
Yeah.
it's hard for me to watch 2 hours of my own shit and then clip it and take an hour to woo woo woo. So I end up racking up like 10, 12 episodes and didn't work on none of them post-production.
It can be very overwhelming.
Bro, it was so overwhelming, I just stopped.
Yeah.
But I recently got back into it, you know what I mean?
Good.
Like, so I told myself I'm gonna upload every single episode that I got and I'm gonna clip them as I can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just gonna be what it is.
I got a question for you, but before I ask that, just to touch on it, how you pointed out, it's very time consuming, not even doing the podcast, leading up to it.
Yes.
How you were talking about with the questions, it's no way I could just have somebody show up to my my podcast, be ill prepared, and we just have a conversation for an hour. I've tried it. I'm not gonna lie, because I was lazy or didn't take it serious or waited till the last second to try to come up with the questions and topics for a person. I tried it and it turned out horrible.
Yeah.
You can tell, I can tell on my episodes when I was prepared and when I wasn't.
Yeah.
The best episode I ever did, the best interview I ever did to this day was Lex Luger.
Yeah.
Not just because I grew up listening to Lex Luger all through middle school and high school, because I prepared my ass off like I was studying for a SAT.
Yeah.
And my topics were on point and they just, the flow was immaculate.
Yeah.
And then I've had episodes where I didn't do any type of preparation. I'm like, oh, she pulling up, we just going to talk shit. And it was horrible. So leading up to a podcast, yes, for those who want to get into it, it takes preparation, it takes time, and it takes your undivided attention to really dive into who you about to interview. People think they could just do it on the fly. Nah, it doesn't work like that. You think Joe Rogan just says, hey, yeah, come up and we'll just talk. Nah, he reads people's books. He studies people. He listens to their music.
Bro.
Yeah, he has a research team, right? And that's what you really on and you scared. We're talking about, well, at least I'm talking about just me.
Yeah.
I ain't even talking about a team yet. So that's one thing leading up to it. And then doing it, okay, that's like the easiest part, if you would. I'll call it the 10% compared to the 90. So we got 45% before, let's say 45% after. The production. The editing and production part of a podcast is a motherfucker.
Man.
And how you said you had episodes stored, that there has to be a term for that, because that happened to me and my man who does podcasts, and we were talking about this. Well, we'll have 4 episodes in the storage, right? And just thinking about having to edit all those episodes will trigger your anxiety.
Yes.
And make you just start
fuck it.
freaking out before you even touch it.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, nah, I can't do it. Fuck it. There's no way I'm having the time to do it.
I just can't do
and you
it.
just abandon it.
Yeah.
Right? And then once you really like just sit down and dedicate about 5 hours to just really knocking it out, once you start to get going, you're like, okay, it's not as bad when you do it one at a time.
I got kids, G, and it's like, I'm not one of those like that. I should leave the house, go to Starbucks, sit down for a few hours, do what I need to do. But it goes back to me saying, like, how bad do I want it? I don't know how bad I want it.
Yeah.
All I know is when I started, I got a really good reaction and I kept it going.
Right.
I wanted to see how consistent I could be.
Right.
But when it's time to get down to the nitty gritty, I rap, I travel. Like, how bad do I want this shit? And that's how I look up and they say, damn, it's been 2 months. You know what I mean? My man had to point out to me that people took their time to take me seriously. Come sit down with me. Talk to me for 2 hours. And I don't put their content out for 2 months. And it's time oriented. A whole Drake and Kendrick debate went by. So much anxiety. During that time, I interviewed 4 niggas and it didn't put none of it out because I just couldn't do it.
And y'all spoke on the Kendrick and Drake beef? Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, I gotta watch the whole thing because now I really gotta clip it around that.
Yeah.
Somebody who really cared gotta go to YouTube, watch the whole thing. You feel me? But I can't use that. The best part of the interview was that topic, and I didn't even put it out in a timely manner. But you said something like earlier I wanted to piggyback off of, bruh. I just interviewed a nigga, he just got out of prison, and I thought I was doing him a service, bringing him on the pod. So I did my research, but I didn't do the correct research. I researched the day of. I was still researching on the way to my office. So that's cheating. That's cheating the whole grind.
Yeah, it is.
You feel me? So the podcast ended up being 36 minutes. And when we cut the camera, he say, bro, I feel like you tried me, bro. I'm like, what, you want to record more? It's the first time I ever really experienced it. He like, yeah, bro. Like, you got more questions? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I got another series of questions, but I ain't think you will even want to answer them. What is it? Yeah, bro. Like, damn, that was quick, bro. So we had to do a whole nother segment, and I felt where he was coming from. Yeah, I was ill prepared. It was a little disrespectful because it was 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, I knew for a week he was coming, but I waited until the day of, and I was like,
second.
Yeah. So
and you can tell
you can't do anything like that. Anything you trying to build, you can't do it like that. You got to put the proper plan and time into it.
There's no cheating the grind.
Yeah, you can't cheat the grind at all.
You can't.
Yeah.
And I want to, how you piggybacked off that, I want to piggyback off something you spoke about. You were saying, why am I doing it? What's the motivation to keep you going? I recently went through a realization, let's call it, where I had to figure out what's my why. Yeah. When I first started this, when I first started getting my buzz, I had my why, so I could sit down for hours on hours and edit and really take it serious, and it manifested. Yeah. My why was to be the hottest podcast in Charlotte. Had it on my board at my old spot, and I was working towards that because I saw that. Yeah. Once I got a good amount of buzz, and then I'm like, okay, I've been podcasting for how many years? Like, people know me. I need to start making some money. Yeah. My why changed. The real why changed, at least. I'm focused on, I need to make some money. I'm not trying to waste my time no more. So then I stopped editing as much because I'm like, I'm wasting my time. I'm doing all this shit for free. It's people that's been podcasting for 2 years and they on now. Yeah. Like, what am I doing, right? I abandoned my why, and then my quality got abandoned. Like, it clearly showed. Like, my quality fell down, my engagement fell down. Like I would have some stuff that would go viral, cool, but my heart wasn't in it, and like my everything, it wasn't complete how it was before. And I just had to really sit back recently and be like, yo, what is my why? Yeah. And I forgot it. I'm like, yo, why am I doing this? I legit forgot it. And then recently, I took a week off to really just do some soul searching. I'm like, yo, your original why, your plan, here was the plan. Be the hottest podcast in Charlotte. That leads to being the hottest podcast in the Carolinas. That leads to being the hottest podcast from Carolina to Atlanta.
The region.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The southeastern region. That was the whole plan. And I completely forgot it. I got back on it recently, and I really feel good about doing the podcast now. I don't feel like I'm just doing it just to do it. I'm wasting time. I'm not getting paid. Like, of course, who doesn't want to get paid? But that's not my focus no more. I know that shit's going to happen when it happens, how it happens.
I want to cut you off.
You good.
You legit got the very best podcast in the city, bro.
Appreciate that, bro.
I almost said the region. That's why I paused a little bit, but I had to remember I don't know about the region, but I know about this city. Right. It's nothing, it's not even close. It's just not even close in quality and consistency. And is the word diction that I'm looking for? Like, no freaky, but just the way you speak, you can go as far as you want to. You know what I'm saying? And the city needs so much more. You know what I mean? Like, you got it. You fucking got it around this bitch. You
Appreciate
know?
that, bro.
I swear to God. I swear to God. I be watching your shit. I be looking forward to your shit. I think when you was moving or whatever, not to put your shit out, you took a little break. I DM'd you? Did I?
Yeah.
What'd I say?
You was like, yo, bro, I've been looking forward to the content.
Oh, yeah, bro. I literally, when I get on the gram, I be looking for the content because you have great content.
Appreciate that, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I watch all type of random shit online.
Yeah.
When I know something is going on in my own backyard, that's just like, I'd rather not watch all the other shit. I want to support what's going on around me, you know? So when I found your page, I was so locked in, everything. I'm commenting on everything. And you don't even know how much I don't even play like that. You know, I don't be in comment sections. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't be there, but I be in yours. Yeah. Faithfully, I'm in there.
Appreciate that.
Like I'm in there just like whatever you doing, I'm trying to say something funny. I'm trying to just contribute to what you got going on. You
Appreciate
feel me?
That,
I fuck with what you got going on, G.
Appreciate it, man. That means a lot to me. You know what I mean? Just from one, someone that's from the city, that's from Charlotte, to someone that's driven. You know what I mean? And like I said, I've been doing research on your content and your music for a minute, and I could tell you're driven. Like I said, I could tell you're someone I'm interested in as far as stuff you have to talk about. So far, it's been everything I imagined plus more. Yeah. So I was right on that. So to hear that from you, man, that really means a lot.
No, for sure.
Seriously, that does mean a lot. I appreciate that.